Hello everyone, thanks for watching this video. I'm gonna talk about a little bit on how to make an e-commerce website and what steps I took. So most people start building an e-commerce website backwards, or they just take so much longer and way more steps than they should. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact same steps I took to use my online store for a clothing brand that I made with my brother and with other friends. So stay here and make the path of making an e-commerce website easier for you. So I am an IT and business administration graduate from Mount Aloysius College, and I like building practical stuff and just like anything related with tech. I'm a really curious person, and I just like to make my life easier, and at the same time I'm a little bit cheap. And so, as I'm a little bit cheap, I like to make projects that will save me some money. So something I want to clarify that I didn't say whenever I was making the video is that what I meant with saving money is because when you do an e-commerce website, of course everything is gonna cost, but when you do an e-commerce website, it all depends on what hosting service you choose. And with the hosting services that you choose, an example could be Shopify. Between Shopify and Hostinger, you save hundreds of dollars just because one Shopify I think only do like yearly plans, and it's probably $300. I don't know for certain, but I know the difference is crazy. I'm gonna pull up here like a picture on what's the difference of the prices. But yeah, the pricing difference between Hostinger and Shopify is crazy. And of course, Shopify doesn't use anything like WordPress. It's a completely different system. So you can choose to do Shopify. I'm not saying it's bad. It's really good. But if you want to save money, I would suggest more in going to WordPress and Hostinger, or these other hosting services that use WordPress. And now that I clarified this, let's continue with the video. So in my case, I did the Hispanic Anima brand. I did the whole online store, the whole storefront. And the personality of the e-commerce website of Hispanic Anima was built with some of my ideas and some of my brother's ideas. Both of us, we were a really tight team in that, like just to figure out how to make a good personality for the website. And of course, as we were just college students by then, we didn't have a huge budget, and we were just starting. So stay if you want to save some money and just start your new e-commerce website and put up your online store for less money. Well, if you're starting an online store right now, but you don't know how to start, think about it that it's gonna be the storefront, this your salesperson, and the customer desk. It's all at once. So this is a really important step that you need to have it correctly and have it at least the way you want it to be done. So now I'm gonna give you a simple path. Step one is not building the website. The step one is building the business plan. The business plan, even if it's a basic one, you need to have something to guide you through the business. You need to know where are you heading so you don't end up being a chicken without a head and running everywhere. So try to create first your business plan. It isn't about just a 50-page document or anything like that. It's about making the decisions before you start building. So then it saves you a lot of mistakes. If you skip this, your site will probably look good, but it won't convert. You need it to align with your business. You need the website to align with your business. Now, the step two, you have to define your objectives. Where do you want the website to go? What is it the website's supposed to do? Then the step three, choose your domain and your hosting. So now after you've done the business plan, you defined all of the objectives you have, it's now the time to choose your domain and choose your hosting. Getting a domain is easy to say and everything, but at the same time, you have to really think through it when you're making your domain. It has to be easy to say, or at least match your brand. Even if it's not easy to say or easy to spell, it has to match. Well, it should be easy to spell, but it should match your brand. For example, in our case, it was just the name of the brand, hispanicanima.com. So that's what we wanted to do. Then for the hosting, you have to choose something that is more reliable and something like there's a lot of services that give you a reliable way to host your website. In our case, we use Hostinger. Hostinger, it's been great. I've been using it for the past 4 years and have no complaints. And every time they're adding stuff, they're updating it. So it's been a great service to use it. So I recommend it a lot if you want to use Hostinger to build your e-commerce website, or even if you just want to do a portfolio website. So a website of your and anything of just to show off your resume or just to show off your experiences. You can use Hostinger to host your websites. But that's what I used. There's many others that you can use too, and just search that they're reliable. Now the step 4, after you got your hosting service, you got your domain, and you got all your objectives, and then you did all of the business plan, then you're like, what's next? So the step 4, or what is next, is brand identity. So with the brand name that you already built, and that's like you already may have it on your business plan and everywhere. Now you have to already have figured out the logo too. And then in this step, you have to also figure out what colors you're going to use, what fonts you're going to use, the brand voice. The colors has to match with the logo or with the aesthetic of the whole brand. I would recommend that. And it doesn't have to be fancy, but as long as it's consistent, it will be good. Quick tool that you guys can use for this, you can design with Figma, with Illustrator, or with Canva. Those are the ones that we use the most when building our e-commerce website. Or you can hire someone, whatever fits your budget. The goal is that whenever someone visits your website, they get the sense and the feeling that you want to transmit to them. And they are like, oh, this is the Hispanic Anima website in this example. Just because they have the sense and they already have their whole brand identity. And then in step 5, whenever you figured out the name, logo, color palette, and the brand voice that you want to do and all the branding, you're gonna install WordPress on your hosting service, or that's how we did it. You can do it also with code. You can do it, there's a lot of ways to do it. The way we did it is using WordPress. It's more simple and faster. So it's up to each their own. Then the step 6 is choose a theme that is responsive and WooCommerce friendly. So after you chose a theme, you are going to customize it, and it works more or less like a drag and drop boxes. So it should be pretty straightforward. If not, I would recommend a lot go through videos of how to do certain things, like how to just look it up in YouTube. It will teach you more than you would think. So that's how I learned the first time when I was doing the e-commerce website, and that's how I'm keeping learning, just YouTube. Then in the next step, you will install WooCommerce. WooCommerce is just a plugin for WordPress, and you can set up things like currency, payments, shipping, basic store settings. It's just the engine of the store and how it will work. After this, you're gonna also add products. This is where most people mess up, or they just like add the products but with some mistakes that I'm gonna explain. Use high quality images, but don't upload huge files. There will be some times where you downloaded just the PNG of your logo, for example, but the size is 2000 by 2000, and then the weight is like 2 gigabytes or something like that, and it's just in a PNG. So then when you post it on your website, it's gonna look like pixeled because it's gonna be 1000 by 2000 or something like that. A lot of pixels. So it's gonna look at all pixels. So you have to look up what's the best sizes for each part. For example, if you go into a header, look up what's the size that needs to be when you put your logo on the header. Should it be 100 by 100, or what's the size that you're looking for? Then when you download it, the image, or when you convert it into a smaller size, then it will look better and more high quality. And it comes the same with the images of the products. If the images of the products are in the wrong size, it can tend to look bad. And sometimes it's tricky, and I'm still learning on that. So sometimes it's tricky, but try to do your best. Now in step 9, just The step 9 is when you set up your payments and shipments and all of that. Just use trusted gateways like PayPal or Stripe. I use Stripe more than PayPal. Then set shipping rules that make sense for your logistics and test the full checkout flow and all process. Check it if you were a customer on your phone. It's really important to optimize mobile first also. So take that into account because most of your customers will be in the phone. So take that into account. But yeah, just test how the flow works, how the process is, and act as if you were a customer. And the step 10 is, and the last part, and it's a hard part, is SEO and analytics. So in my case, I use tools or I use the plugin like Yoast SEO, and I connected the site with Google Analytics, so then I could see what people would do on the website, how long they would stay, what devices they use. I can see everything. So then it helps me to know how to optimize it better, what changes to do. If something is not working, I can try something else. And just here's the key: SEO isn't your homepage or isn't like that. It's every page, every product, every category. Every is just the language that you're using and all the text that you have on your website. Everything counts when it comes to SEO or search engine optimization. And the last step is test everything before launch: mobile responsiveness, load speed, broken links, checkout, contact forms, and any plugin conflicts. And launch and announce it on social media, wherever your audience might be, and you're all set. Now, what actually made our store better, or some of the lessons we had? The responsive design. Most customers came from phones, like I said before. We had to prioritize the mobile optimization. So that was what we tried to focus on more. Google Analytics helped us making decision based on reality, not really like guesses, and security and monitoring. So having updates all the time, I have to log in the website and try to update everything, test that everything works. And the plugin like Jetpack can help you monitor this. It can help you monitor downtime, the site health, and everything from your phone. So that's pretty cool. Now, I want to make a big focus on the performance optimization. If your site is slow, then that can make your sales decrease. And we struggled with that a lot. Our site was always slow, and it was a headache for me a lot just to try to make it quicker. So live chat or even clean contact form can increase conversions too. And test one thing at a time: headlines, product images, call to action buttons, and keep those wins going. And remember, product pages matter. Use clear photos, real descriptions, and reviews when you can get them. Try to ask the customers for reviews. That will help a lot. Another tip I'm gonna give you is content helps. Blog posts that answer real question helps. Social media helps too, especially if you're consistent. In our case, we use platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Some not that much, but LinkedIn a little bit. And if you have budget later, you can do paid campaigns like Google Ads, and it can bring targeted traffic fast and make it better. But don't pay for traffic to a bad checkout experience. Let's just fix the site first. And then the last tip is the maintenance. Is the part that is just like a habit. Just schedule all the updates that you have to do. And for backups, there's a tool all-in-one WP migration that can help you. And just keep all the plugins and themes updated. It's really important. The result of all of this is an e-commerce website, or basically your online store, and you gave it all your personality, and it will be really exciting. That's how it was for us at the end of the product. When we finished it, we were like, wow, that looks how I wanted. And then of course, after the more you look at it, you're like, oh, well, I can do this better, and then you start to make the changes. But yeah, it's a good journey. Just to make your website is pretty cool. So if this helped you, subscribe, hit the like button, comment. I'll be reading your comments. If you're building a store right now, let me know how it's going and what are you selling. and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.